Hello viewers, thanks again for tuning in to this edition where I'm going to show you how Wilcom works as far as wording is concerned. Like if you want to make a name of a school or your name, if you want to brand your personal name on your shirt or t-shirt or cap, but you have the software but you don't know how you're gonna make this name come out. Many of us will call it as a monogram. So today in this audio version, I want to introduce to you how you can make a name or a logo, a name or a word in this software called Wilcom. Now, what you do, you go to your start menu, of course, you look for designer, okay? If you don't see it there, then you check to the desktop, it's about here. You can double click from here, okay, or you can come here and you open. Just left click once, okay, then you permit it to open. You say yes. In just a second it will be open. Right now, roughly this is the interface of the software, okay? Anything you see here and here, they are all inside here. So that's not far where we are going, but we are just looking at how you can make a word or a name in the software and then you produce it for the machine to be embroidered. However, in this version I am not going to show you like the properties, how you change the stitches, but just the initial way how you can do it, like, you know, from the scratch, how you can do it, then you save it. Then the next edition, when you subscribe and you like my videos, I will be giving you more tips on how you can change the density, the compensation and everything. Right now the software is open, just waiting for you to put in the name. How you gonna do it? Just like in any other software like Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, you normally have this letter A, okay? Now this letter is called a lettering, or it has the values, okay? This time we want to go into the values, but let me just show you from this letter A. When you left click on it, okay, just a single left click, okay, now already it has put itself into the process, or it is enabled itself to be in function. So after placing on this letter A, you come here, exactly here, and you place in the working space, okay, just once. Now you want to put in your name or a school or anything you want to embroider, okay? So you come and say, let me say David Fabiola. I didn't introduce myself, but my name is David Fabiola from Kampala, Uganda. Now that's the name already, but when you look down here, we have empty design, okay? There are no figures here because we have not put in the stitches. But however, these black lines, you can see them because here the outlines are visible, okay? So when I disable this, after putting in the stitches, you will not be able to see these black lines, okay? Now what we want is to put in the stitches into this word David Fabiola, or the name David Fabiola. Now what do? Number one, we go to the select tool, okay, which is here. Once you left click on the selected tool, the word David Fabiola or the name David Fabiola is gonna be highlighted, okay? Now I'm doing a left click. Good. Now the name has been highlighted, and now we have two buttons here, just like in any other software. The zooming in and zooming out buttons, we normally have F9 and F10. Now see, I'm pressing F9, okay, it has zoomed in. When I press F10, it is zooming out, okay? Now let me press F9 again. Good, I have zoomed out my word or my name, David Fabiola. Now still we have an empty design here because we haven't put in the stitches, but we are looking at the way how we can do this. Now we look for an icon which has the word generate stitches, okay? Because I know it's just here. So now we look at that icon, like when you are designing, try to look for that icon where it is. And because you can't see it, you go to view, toolbars, okay? Then you have to make sure that everything here has a tick, so everything will be visible. Now since we have already highlighted on our word David Fabiola, okay, we place on generate stitches, just a left click, good to go. wow, the name has come. Okay, the name has come. Just as you can see, the name has come. And yeah, so now the name has come. This is in its true view. Okay, we are in the true view. Now if you want to disable the true view, you can come here. Look at these three letters here. You see them? I mean these three icons. Okay, the first one has a true view. As you can see, the second one has a show stitches. So which means if I don't want to see this, if I want to hide something, I can simply press here and the stitches will go off. But look here, now because we have filled in the stitches, that's why you are seeing some figures here. Before it was an empty space, you remember? Yeah, so this is just a short stitch. Okay, like if you have them and you can't see them, you place there on a short stitch. Now as I was telling you before, that these black lines, you can see them because this outline, show outline, is also enabled. So if I disable it, you cannot see the black lines. Okay, so I enable it like that. I show my stitches. So this is either true view or that kind of a faded view. So preferably let me go with a true view. Now look here closely. When you look in between these two letters D and A and V, they are not in the same line. Okay, there are possibility of making the adjustments or the spacing automatically, but at this moment I want to show you how you can do it manually. Okay, manually. Now when I select it, okay, I zoom in, okay, because we're now looking at this between how can we fill this gap between A and V. I go to my Reshape Tool, which is just here. You see that? That's the Reshape Tool. Okay, you click on it. Now look in the middle of each and every letter. We are having black dots. Okay, hope you can see them. In every middle of every letter we have black dots. You can see them. So it's under those dots that we can touch a letter and we adjust it to the left or to the right. Okay, so I go to my black dot here, I place without removing my finger on the left click, and I can move my V anywhere I want. So because I want to make some adjustments here, I just bring it up to here, and also this A, I can bring it there. So I zoom out to see what I've done. Okay, but I hope here is fine, right? Good. So you are good to go now. What the number you see here, this is the number of stitches. Okay, in case they ask you how many stitches that name has, you give them the number which you see down here. Hope you can see it clearly. So our name is done. There's no big deal, there's no what, because this is the first edition. Allow me stop here, but because we have already just made our name, we are saving it, just saving it. Okay, let me try to save this name. Now before I save it, when you are making a design range on the machine, but that's for the next session anyway. But you see this when you look at this white kind of arrow, this kind of a positive kind of sign, it means that the stitching or the embroidery will end on that very letter at that very point. Okay, so there are possibilities of putting this in the middle, which I will show you in my second edition or in any other time. But for the meantime, let's stop here. You have seen how you can make a name or anything into this design. Now when you go to saving, when you want to save it for any further use, okay, as your own template or anything, you save it under EMB design file extension. Okay, so you can put here your name, David Fabiola. Okay, and you save it either on your flash or anywhere, but for the interest of this, let me save it on the desktop just. Okay, then you press save. But if you are saving it for a machine, in this case I'm talking about the ZSK embroidery machine or any other Tajima machine. Okay, we can save it as Tajima DST or ZSK DSZ. Now there are some smaller machines like Janome or brother machines which you read the Janome Su or Jeff. So in most cases, when you are saving for a machine, you have to know which machine you're talking about so as to save your work. Now because we are not saving for a machine, we are saving just for our own interest, we leave the logo in design file extension EMB. Okay, as in its default one. Okay, then I'm saving it in my desktop. I just press save. Yep, so already I can close this. I close this. We have the logo here which is saved. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like my page for more videos and more and more. Thank you. Goodbye.